Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to the commentary track for 2016's Your Name. Yes, indeed. I was reminded the other day that Hosoda's new film Belle was released. It does exist, and it is coming to the United States in January next month. So I'm very excited. And I've already done a Hosoda film for this channel. We watched Summer Wars, and so I wanted to watch another anime film because I have that on the brain, and I figured we would explore my other favorite anime film director, Makoto Shinkai, who was oddly enough featured in Charlie Kaufman's book Ant Kind. I knew that before going in, and I was very, very. I don't know if I was concerned or just apprehensive, because that's a very satirical book. I cannot speak. Good thing I've got coffee in front of me. But yeah, it was just like a list of award-winning directors, and Shinkai was in there for Your Name, which is a roundabout way of saying that this film was quite highly acclaimed when it came out. But Shinkai had done quite a few films beforehand, which helps play into the ending of this film in terms of its subversion of expectations. Boy, have you guys heard that enough in the last, what, 4 or 5 years? I don't even know when The Last Jedi came out anymore. There's that 3D shot. This film was horrendously under budgeted. Like, they were rushing Shinkai's team to get this film done. It's astounding, actually. Just how rushed and how indifferent, I guess, the studio was to Shinkai's ultimate vision, I guess. We'll get into it as the film goes on. But there are definitely, especially in the third act, there are definitely some parts of the film that you can tell it was either rushed, it could have done better. And sadly, this film, I was just looking, this film has a runtime of an hour 46. Even if it was like a generic 2-hour film, that extra 15 minutes could have done a lot to help the movie later on. Gorgeous visuals, by the way. I actually have an art book that's like a behind the scenes, foreshadowing. It's like a behind the scenes look at the production of this film, and they actually did go to like actual places in Japan. I don't know if Shinkai has a history in like architecture, but he certainly does love his landscapes, and he loves drawing from like actual places. He likes drawing from just reality in general, because his films, unlike a lot of anime films, his films specifically have a lot of technology in them. Like Summer Wars, I mean, I guess it had like cell phones, but like Shinkai really draws heavily on like smartphones, the internet, and stuff like that. Which seems kind of out of place, I guess. Anime has always been sort of the realm of like, not so much like fantasy, but anime traditionally hasn't had a lot of. Well, I say that, and I'm immediately thinking of like Gundam Seed. It hasn't had a lot of realistic technology. We'll say that it's had plenty of giant ass monster mechs and stuff. See, this is like, I don't know. I need to figure out in anime terminology or animation terminology if like, see, like this would be like a panning shot on like a dolly if it were a reality, and I don't know if you use the same terminology, but that was a great shot. I don't know if you use the same terminology for animation as you do for like real world film. I guess film in general, because this would not have been on film. Animation is not shot on film, or it's not on film. Well, obviously. Here's another panning shot. It very much, it still, as I love this movie. The panning shots where you can tell you've got like hand-drawn models and stuff, characters, and then you have those 3D panning shots that were made in a computer. That one shot where we're panning around Taki right at the beginning of the film, and it's like moving around and watching them, that is done beautifully. That does not look like it was computer animated, but there are a lot of times, and not just in this film, but in a lot of anime films, where they do that, and it's very out of place. Gohan. You had to emphasize that last letter. Gohan. Just like Gohan. This is one of those times where somebody. Here's another panning shot. It's just, it's, you know, it just seems weird, odd, I guess. I don't know. That might just be me. Eh! I don't sleep with a shirt on either. You can have it. Oh, I didn't realize that the grandma had the same ribbon that Mitsuha wears. I've never caught that before. Does she get it from her grandma? She might give it to her when she cuts her hair. I can't recall. It's been a while since I've seen this. I've seen it a couple times, but a while ago. I would still love to visit rural Japan. Like, I live in, like, backwoods America. I live basically in rural America, and it seems like it's a lot more pleasant in Japan. Yeah, she's done with that. Ah, if you remember, in Summer Wars, astronomy played a role in that film as well. It could be more subtle, I'll admit. Oh, I wonder where she got that headband. She doesn't even explain it. Like, I wish there was a scene where she, like, was all, oh, I wonder, I can't remember ever where I got this. But that is different from her grandma. I guess it's not out of place because that's what her grandma does, is she makes rope. So I guess they would be wearing with a similar thing. A similar thing. I was reading into it. I guess spoilers. If you're watching this, you've seen the movie. The women in her family have the sort of premonition. It's not really premonition, but they have the same kind of power that we experience in the film. So it's been passed down from woman to woman. So I was like, oh, it's like they're passing that down like the ribbon. We do not get along well. I do like how we start this film in media res. Although it is a bit odd. Because this is Mitsuha speaking. But early on, she was shocked to see boobs on herself. Which implies that Taki was... that's my coffee maker if you can hear it. It seemed like when we started the film, Taki was in her body, but now it's Mitsuha who's in her body. Unless she was just shocked to be back in her body again. I'm not certain. That's always been odd. Oh, look at that chick. She's got Darla? Is that the girl from Napoleon Dynamite? She has her hair thing. The side ponytail. Come on, Dad. Oh, the generational gap. Oh, so stern. I love a man who's stern and in government. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Oh my god, we need to watch Drop Dead Gorgeous at some point. Oh. If you guys haven't seen that. Tasokare. Tasokare Doki. That's important. That's why they're emphasizing it. Kare tasodaki. Karatare. I would love to learn Japanese. I would not learn to love kanji/hiragana because that would be a lifetime of mastery. There were Azumanga Daioh jokes about how high school students don't even know characters. See, this is definitely Mitsuha today. See, I was saying, I love how they start this in media res because they actually can, like, you can figure it out along with them. Yeah, I don't recall it ever being made clear just how long they swap bodies. It's heavily implied that it's only for a day, but I'm not certain of that. They never make it clear, exactly, to my knowledge. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen this. Oh, and this is the first time I'm watching a film on here on an actual PC. I got new components. So, we should not... Any problems I had previously with, like, sync issues shouldn't occur, because my computer doesn't skip anymore like a crappy laptop. Oh, close knit. That's, her family knits. Somewhat. I want to leave. Meanwhile, some random-ass white dude in America. I want to live there. I don't know if I'd want to live there. I'd love to visit. I'd love to live there for like a month. That'd be wonderful. Like, I belong in a city, but I would love to visit the country. Cafe. You would think they would know. Like, they've lived there forever. You'd think they'd be like, there's no cafe here. They should have, like, a pop-up cafe. Like Guy Fieri going to Japan. We're bringing... You can't come to Flavortown. We're going to bring Flavortown to you. Teshi. Move to the city, get married. Oh, who are you gonna get married to? Well... I wonder if that's like reverse foreshadowing. Because it's like, oh, he's gonna live here forever. Nope. We know that's not gonna happen. Yeah, I don't know if this is knitting. I have no idea what you would call this. Braiding? Like extreme braiding? Total concentration. Mayugoro. Poor guy. Think of all the gender reveal parties that start wildfires in California. Miyamizu. Baka! There's some hatred in that. My man. This might seem a bit odd, but I know in Japan, like, going out and drinking with your buddies after work is a very important thing for networking. Like, Americans, we might be like, oh, well, even for Teshi, I guess. Oh! Ah! But yeah, it might be weird to think of in America, like, politicians going out and having drinks. There's the shrine. I would say she has it. Well, you know what? I was going to say you get to play with explosives, but that's dangerous and not really playing. I love how they keep emphasizing, like, technology encroaching upon tradition. With, like, all of these, the radios, that PA system in the house that the grandma unplugged. See, she showed up. Oh, they both showed up. She's been dancing for a while if you just got there now. See, they look like they're 3D models right now. I can't help that I notice these things. May we have a bountiful harvest. Amen. Kuchikami sake. They would appreciate it on Arrakis. Thank you for the gift of your body's moisture. And alcohol. Well, she wasn't. Now she is. Bundle it up. That is also foreshadowing. We'll find out what happens later with it. Oh my god! She just talked about selling the Kumi sake, the Kuni Kamisaki. If it were like Belle Delphine, yeah, she could sell it. Belle Delphine, here, have some sake made from my spit and rice. She could sell that. Like, or their bathwater. She's like, what? I'm a real boy. I mean, look at the landscapes. This film is gorgeous. Made all the more impressive by the fact, like, as I said, they were rushed for, I think, most of it. It's called Art from Adversity. Like Majora's Mask and Star Wars. See examples. I wish I was a Tokyo boy in the next life. Well, here you go. Also, we do get a lot of Mitsuha POV early on, which makes up for all the Taki POV we get later. I didn't realize that until now either. Because I always thought it was weird in the second act, it's mostly Taki. But in the first act, it's a lot of Mitsuha. Something's there. I can feel it attached to me. Hey, you're a Tokyo boy. See, like, I don't know if this is happening chronologically. If she's changed before, you would think that this wouldn't be new to her by now, right? So I don't know if they've gone back in time or what. I'm assuming they went back in time. Time is convoluted in your name. It's like Dark Souls 2. I think this coffee's gone bad. It's not particularly good. But I don't have anything to drink right now with me. And I really don't want to get to the habit of like, oh, well, I'm commentating on a track here. Let me just get up and do other things. I guess I would be in. If I'm watching a really terrible movie, I might do that just to have a joke. Tsukasa? Like, he has a feminine voice. Or I guess it's a more... You know what? No, it's not really. Oh, a bidet. I guess it's not all that different from Taki's voice. But I was going to say, if this change is affecting their vocal cords, you think it would affect other parts of their body. Look, it's Tokyo. What I would give to visit Tokyo. Or like any part of Japan. Just Japan in general. Japan, China, Korea. That bunny on the right, you see that? That reminds me of the Pegasus thing from Dallas, Texas. There's like a green Pegasus thing on the top of a building. It looks just like that. See, I'm telling you. Shinkai loves his shots. And I can only imagine, I know it sounds bad, I have yet to see Weathering with You. And I guarantee you, because that's mostly set in Tokyo, I believe. So I can only imagine how much urban landscape porn there's going to be in that. It's going to be all over the place. Dude, I visited New York for a week. I don't think I walked through it and blushed at how gorgeous that city was. I don't know if that's possible for me, but I would love to find out. Just visit all the best cities in the world until I discover if that's possible. Ah! Inferring. Watashi? I'm glad on the subtitles they explain it. Mitsuho was using the feminine form of I, myself, instead of the masculine. And she was like going through... I should correct people in that. Because all the weebs who talk about, oh, watashi wo, that's actually, I'm guessing, not the correct if it's a guy. I'm assuming it's that other one that I've already forgotten. Dogs! That's 3 dogs. This movie's great. Oh, look at that Japanese hipster on the right with the beanie. Was that like $16 at one point? I know inflation and stuff has happened since high school, but it used to be the Japanese yen used to be you just put the decimal point after the first 2 numbers, and that's what it generally is in American dollars. I know that's probably not the case anymore with inflation, but at one point that was the case. Not exactly. Shifto. Where do I work again? Oh, look, I'm drinking coffee, too. It's probably not that fancy. This is like store-bought Tim Hortons. That has been apparently sitting out on my counter too long. Zucchini! Houdini! No more truffles. Stop selling it. If they're out of something, you're supposed to recommend something as a waiter. Like something else. Or like recommend something easy. If the kitchen's backed up, you recommend, oh, would you like to try this special? And it's an easy to make special. You liar. Let me get my manager. How would Mitsuha know that? She lives out in the country. She's never been to an Italian restaurant, one would think. It's a lot easier to lose a customer than to make a customer. Is that really... I'm sorry. Is that really what people do to get their kicks? Of all the things you could do to another human being for your sexual gratification, you're gonna cut a hole in their skirt. That is a weird thing to do. That dick from earlier? I know someone who's good with fabrics. That's a weird thing for a guy to do. I know it's not a... Yeah. Eh? I mean, it does look cute, but in a utilitarian sense, that's not exactly what I would be looking for. Like, she can't wear that skirt to work anymore. I should reiterate, Makoto Shinkai is a guy. Well, I don't know who wrote this. I think Shinkai wrote it. He directed it. I'm not sure what the status of the writing was. I could probably look that up. Let me do that right now. Good God, that's me. When I visit Tokyo, that's me just staring longingly out the window. See, this is why I keep an Instagram. Because if someone switches bodies with me, they'll have an idea of what's going on. That's a creeper shot, by the way. She didn't even notice. That's that. Oh, okay. Never mind. Your name is supposed to be wikiing this. Thanks to my feminine powers. I would love a breakdown on how Japanese texting works and how those symbols are categorized. 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb and a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not kidding when I say people love this film. Mitsuha. It's foreshadowing again. Written by Shinkai. Yes, okay. Cinematography by Shinkai. Okay, so it is Shinkai who is in love with urban landscapes. I knew it. Dude, if I woke up and there was a woman's name, Alexa Bliss, on my hand, I would be freaked out. Well, I don't know if I'd be freaked out. I'd be like, what the hell? See, like, this is officially the first time we're meeting Taki, and we're half an hour in. Ah, but we're going to be spending most of the rest of the film with him, so it makes sense. What? I mean, he was. Uh-oh. I love this scene. It was in your calendar, my man. Okudera, coming through. Some of the subtitles are not accurate. Oh, we're about to be introduced once again to Rad Wimps. I love. I've always loved how Taki just keeps writing on her arm. There's not enough space to convey his confusion. Oh, bye. See, that's it's a bit weird when we get into, oh, they were touching, he was touching her boobs territory. But I mean, she was groping his dick at one point, so. Still life drawing. Oh, snap. Dude, if you have seen a silent voice, Japanese high school students are, like, bullying is brutal. I've always been confused. I don't know if they're shocked or her friend is shocked or if everyone's shocked because she had her skirt exposed or if she just knocked over the desk and that's considered like a severe ruckus in Japan. Oh, that's in this cut that the text was in English there for a second. And I haven't read it before. I have the I imported it from Japan actually. The collector's edition box set of this. And it actually comes with the screenplay and like a hardcover book, but I can't understand a word of it. Although it is neat to see the Japanese formatting for a screenplay. It's a lot different. Rad Whips. Here, I'll shut up now. We can listen to this. Ah! See, Taki got real good real quick at fixing her hair. See, they say several times a week, so it's not an everyday thing, but it seems like it only occurs a day at a time. No bads, no looking, no touching. Don't waste money, no dialect. What was that last one? Be smart? I love this idea. This is probably my favorite segment of the film, is this montage right here, and I wish they would explore it a bit more. You know, we could see them trying to figure out their lives and, you know, gratuitous opie. Oh. I wish they would expound upon this a little bit more, because it's the most interesting part of the film for me. Well, maybe not the most interesting, but it's my favorite part. And it only lasts for like a minute or two. Here we go again. It's the landscapes, man. I keep pointing them out. I'm not doing it to be negative. I'm just legitimate. I'm more enamored by the fact that Shinkai seems to be incredibly like in love with them. That's an actual bridge. I know that. I love this. She act like such a boy that the girls start having crushes on her. This is the famous shot from the film. I bought the Nandroid. I know I sound like a total Your Name geek. I bought the Nandroid set of both Mitsuha and Taki, and I had them set up to where they were drawing on their faces. I love that. It's like how they emphasize what they want, just put it on their face so they cannot possibly ignore it. Aw, they're learning. Well, we can't all be quick learners. See, that's where we get to like a weird gray area with everything. Because it comes up later, and it's like, I don't know, it's slightly uncomfortable. I don't want to say it's, well, it kind of is taking advantage of someone else, but... I think that's my fridge that's buzzing. And I hope he, there he goes. Okay. Beautiful landscapes. He's the guy who started the fire. Mayugoro. Oba-chan. Look at how good her sister is. She, unprompted, she went and picked up her backpack so she could carry Grandma. Musubi. Sounds like Shinto to me. Those ropes, the giant ropes, mean that the spirits are imbued, or the trees are imbued with the spirit. So far as I'm aware and understand of Shintoism. This is important for the story, by the way. Musubi. Musubi is translated as nodding, but I can only imagine in the actual Japanese it's a lot more nuanced and a lot more difficult to translate. Musubi is also apparently spam. The power of becoming or creation. Yeah, it is a lot more nuanced. It's one of those things where you can probably have 10 different translators translate it and get 10 different interpretations. It means the underworld. Ha ha ha! Let's go! I think it's only really in the Judeo-Christian concepts of the underworld that they're like evil. In most others, I think the underworld's a little bit more tame. Like in the Greek. See, now this one says Musubi means rice ball. So there is a lot of different interpretations for it. Spam Musubi. I can't get over that. It's basically onigiri, but it's a rice patty on top of or with a spam patty on top wrapped with seaweed. What in the actual hell? Kataware doki. Kataware doki. Tiamat. Say what? Grandma figured me out. See, the grandma could only see that because Kataware doki. Check your journal, bro. Dato? I love this track. If I recall, this is Mitsuha's theme, but it's slightly adjusted for date 1 and date 2. Look at Taki. He cleans up nice. Look at him in his street clothes. Wearing a blazer in the middle of summer? Hey, this is me on a date. Protecting her from getting groped. That is a fancy-ass cafe. LOL. I suffer anxiety, but still got a girl. That's me! That's me. I need to read that article. Nostalgia. I like how it was set up for that explicit purpose that when he woke up, he was already on a time crunch, so it made sense he couldn't read the whole the journal that she left him. Notice how it was called Nostalgia? And it's a picture of Itomori? I wonder why that is. This is the first viewing I caught that again, by the way. The exhibition is called Nostalgia, and there's a picture of Itomori. I've never caught that until this time around. Dude, I'm on my ball game when I'm doing these for commentary. Plain. Here's one of my favorite shots right here. Caller! I love this shot. Oh, they said cinematography by Shinkai. So I guess cinematography does apply to animation too. Nah, I don't really feel like it. Subise. It's a hololive girl who's into astronomy. I wonder if there's a relation. Oh, Teshi does have a crush on Mitsuha, but he ends up getting together with this one. Oh, Maina! It's actually it wasn't a breakup. I wonder why. It's because she likes Taki. But they didn't develop it all that well. They're growing infatuation, or at least hers for him. That's one of the things that I think they could have fleshed out better had they had more time. When I first watched this, I don't think I knew that women often would cut their hair when like they were out of a relationship to like signal rebirth. Or like starting over. Pretty shot. It's another one of the 3D shots that doesn't look all that noticeable. Look at that shot! Oh. That is interesting. I wonder if the moon mirrored off of the ground there was meant to symbolize, like, their lives mirroring one another. Itomori. Taki is an architecture person. Architect. There's a word for that. Taki is an aspiring architect. There's a word for architecture person. Hida Mountains. Like, I know the whole point is that he's trying to figure out what city she lived in so that he can go and find her. But it seems like at some point, he knows the prefecture that she lives in. You'd think at some point he would come across, oh, Itomori, that's the name. And it was destroyed by a comet. You know, you would think he's using the internet. Like, how many cities in the Gifu prefecture have a giant-ass crater lake? You know? Here we go. Also, has he been wearing that bracelet this whole time? That's the first I noticed seeing it. Oh, it's because... Oh, wait, no. He doesn't know that Mitsuha was the girl who gave it to him, right? Yet? I don't recall. I assumed he was wearing it so that he could take it back to her. But I don't think he knows that they're the same person. Huh? It's getting catfished. I like this song too. Taki really does have some stalker tendencies. I'm not saying he's a stalker outright. Poor Cutlet. Even though a Japanese Google search, I think would have revealed a lot more than going around checking every single city would. That being said, I would love to be going, yay! It's a police bowl! I'm in Okudeda's camp. I'd be all, like, adorable. See, like, I would love to go on this tour. Look at that! That's gorgeous. I know I'll probably never get to visit Japan, but damn it, I'll vicariously do it through Your Name and other films. Hey, you guys came along by your own accord. Takayama Ramen. Thank you. Did they just decide to speak English in those situations? Sano Itomori no longer exists, but Mitsuha is 3 or 4 years earlier. That's not that terribly long for there not to be memorials and stuff about it online. I can see where it was like 20 years ago. See, they know about it. You would think the Crater Lake would have something to do with it. I think this is the scene where people are like, oh shit. And then it happens again in like 5 minutes. What are the odds that a comet would land like roughly the same spot twice? Dude, he got, like, ultimately catfished. She's not even alive anymore. They don't make it explicit, but I wish they made it a little bit more obvious right here that they were standing at the school that was not destroyed by the comet, because that comes into play later on. Also, I know that there's magic going on. I have a difficult time believing that magic would affect technology. Like, how could the Mububi, whatever she called, the nodding of time, like, it's got a long day's work ahead of it if it's trying to affect a hard drive, you know? Or I guess a solid state drive in the case of a phone. See, like, there's a library of books about it, and he couldn't find it in a Google search. That's specific. Okay, there you go. Here's the other oh shit moment. Oh, comet must be the word suise. Whatever. Did the internet just not exist? All the stress of somebody dying that I didn't know. And then they stopped changing him, I guess. Bro, look on the internet. There's more information there. See, Hosoda does a lot with the internet, too. Like, if he and Shinkai teamed together, they would have the ultimate technology movie. They'd have cell phones and the internet. Oh, Yurde! That's a phasmophobia. There's a ghost called a Yurde. We're learning so many things. Oh, they were braids. Yeah, why did he wear it to this trip? He doesn't even know that Mitsuha was the one who gave it to him. Oh, well, I guess he thought, oh, well, I need to be lucky traveling from city to city. I guess that makes sense. See, sometimes screenwriters, they actually do make things make sense. Not every screenwriter does that. This is like a literal Toradora. Toradora is all about figuratively, like, people going in and out of time, and, like, life is about timing. And this one is literally about time and, like, moving through time. If that makes any sense at all. From the grave. That's a shout out to all the asses on Call of Duty that had that perk that when they died, they dropped a grenade and kill you. Taki-kun. Oh, he can use GPS, but he can't use the internet to find articles. Taki, you're driving me nuts, man. Dude. You're coming back for me, right? Where I'm going, I won't need a ride back. We're going to the underworld, baby. Onigiri. Mitsubi. That's time. Now it is time. Oh, freezing breath. We're on the track of a Yurei. I mean, you've already established that it was not a dream. To the underworld. That is also a gorgeous shot. Ah! See, and I like earlier when we were here, we didn't actually see inside, so that we could see it for the first time here. Also, he referred to her sister as his sister. Why does it have more mold on it than the other one? It's been fermenting. It's alcohol now. In Europe, well, he's a minor in the United States. I think we're in for one hell of a trip, my friend. If I could turn back time. No, no, get rid of the mold. Ew! I've had sake before. Granted, I know there are a lot of different sake, and this was like cheap sake at a Japanese festival at a botanical garden. But it was not my thing. Suisse. Oh, it was predicted. CTE. I thought it was alcohol, not LSD. There's the thread of time. I'm sorry, Musubi. This is where it gets, frankly, a little bit, what's the word? Surreal? Dragon. Thread. I guess it's more of a cord than a thread. The zygote. Mitosis is occurring. I might have the terminology wrong. It's been a long time since biology class. Oh, that's a cord too. That's the significance of that. Wait, she asked why he went into politics when she kicked him out of the house. I wonder if that had something to do with it. Suisse. That would be one hell of a view right before you die. Here comes one of my favorite shots in the film. Watch. She's like legitimately shocked. Scary. Perigee. You knew? No. Not if you develop dream recall. What? Oh, look, she's running. Oh, she skipped school that day. That's why she called and said she didn't feel like it. Because before Taki showed up, and today, they didn't find out about her hair until later on after school. See, the mythology behind Mitsuha's powers, quote unquote, that's another thing. Had they had more time, they probably could have developed better. Because it was very cryptic, because Taki was like, oh, well, maybe all of the visions from the line passed down was to get ready for this day. They probably could have elaborated on that. Ura ura! You're a girl from marriageable age. Also, was Teshi on the internet, and that's why Taki was so excited? Maybe Taki legitimately did not have internet access, even on a smartphone. Bakuda? See, Taki knows this because that's where they saw Itomori. So he knew it was outside the blast zone. Even though, I guess, doubly confirmation, he saw that in that book that had the impact crater. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's a perfect plan. No, we've got 40 minutes left about... Okay, with all the time, I'm just now thinking about this. With all the time shenanigans, I wonder if that's the same comet from 1200 years ago, and like time has it impacting twice, and that's why the odds of two comets hitting the ground at the same place is a idea. What a thing to tell your daughter. Did he get up or did she pull him up? Taki. That seems like an odd... I got the feeling this whole movie that her dad doesn't know her all that well. So that seems like an intuition that a father who knows and cherishes his daughter would make. But I don't really see him being the kind of guy for that. You know? Oh, this scene is funny too. All in one day, Taki has made Mitsuha the town pariah. Oi! Is this Errol from Wind Waker? It's a long way up. Well, at least she convinced two people, and not the random ass children that she was yelling at. Get out of here now! Honestly, I feel like guilty seeing Yatsuba so confused because she's so adorable and kind, and just seeing her like wildly confused is like, it gets me in like the paternal bone. Uh-oh. Would that not be a shock? Shidano. Oh, it's like the station that still operates just so the one girl in Japan can go to school. That's the same backpack that Renge has. I looked it up, and apparently those are like very famous like school children backpacks to have. It's like made of some kind of plastic, but they're like very like high demand for children. They love them. It's like a tradition. Once you're old enough, you get it, and they're like, yeah. I would cite the anime that Renge is from, but one, I believe there's only one Renge. And two, I can't recall off the top of my head what the anime is. This subtitle track is not all the best it could be. It should put all the ambient stuff at the top and then the speech keep it on the bottom so that you can have both at the same time. You can tell she's a country girl. I'm sorry. That's such a defeated look on her face. Fun! Tokyo! Here we go. Oh, wait, it wasn't because he was going on a date that made her cut her hair. It's because he rejected her when she went to Tokyo to meet him. That's why she cut her hair. That was the point where she was like, oh, well, this isn't going anywhere. The chronology of the film has gotten me up until this point. I learn a lot when I watch things for commentary. See, she thinks that she confessed, or she was going to confess, and he was like, no, I don't even know you. That's why she cut her hair. because she was like, oh, there's nothing here. He might as well have broken up with me. Hen the hona. See, upon first glance, this seems awkward. Well, not awkward, but weird that he would just call out to a weird girl and accept a chord he got her. But if I was in the same situation where I'm just on a train and some random girl shows some interest in getting to know me, I would probably do the same exact thing. So, in that context, I can see where Taki would be like, you know what? I'll go for it. Who are you? This crazy girl. I don't even know her and she's fighting for me. Damn it, I'll fight for her too. Why not? The dual craters. It's a 3D rendered shot. It's a Doppler effect. I love whenever they swap back and forth, they show the crater in the background so you can see them change from 3 years. I love that shot. Basically, this whole scene. It's like everyone's favorite scene. There are gifs of this where it's a little bit more poetic, but they do a good enough job in the final edit of the film, where they're like touching one another, but they're invisible and it swaps back and forth. There's a gif that it does it a bit more solid than this. They like take that shot of Taki earlier and then that shot of Mitsuha right there and put them together. Kataware doki. You might even see a Yurei. Imagine realizing you died, and then not a second later, you run into another human being. See, that's such an odd part right there. Like, it gets a little creepy for a second. I know it's an all good fun, but I don't think that's the kind of good fun that we should be having fun about. I love this part of the soundtrack too. That cut hits people like a brick friggin' wall. I wish I could go back and watch this for the first time again, because I honestly can't remember what my reaction was when that happened the first time I saw this. I can imagine most people, it's like they're just breathless. There goes my fridge again. Or maybe time is wrapped around itself. I can imagine the dialogue and translation is a bit clunky there. I can only imagine it's a bit more clunky. Like, he didn't ask what is your name. He asked your name is. It was an incomplete statement because he feels incomplete at that point in time without her or without knowing her name. That's the whole point of the title of the film. It wasn't a full question, what is your name? That's why the film is Kimi no Nawa. It's not Kimi no Nawa Taki. Time to blow shit up! Like, I have no business. For the amount of time I've spent not learning Japanese and instead watching mass media from Japan in the Japanese language and being terrible at languages, I have no business knowing, like, enough nuance to make calls like that. And yet here we are. I have seen this film before, so I already know what Kimi no Nawa means. Yattaria! That's me as an introvert. Oh, what the hell? Alert! Alert! I guess you could call this ethical terrorism. This is like A Sky Full of Stars, that invisible novel where they shut off the lights to the city. But instead of seeing the stars, it's seeing a comet that's coming for your lives. It's been a while. I wish I knew the actual name of that game in Japanese. Instead of, oh, Sky Full of Stars, oh. I know If My Hearted Wings is, Ozora ni Tsubasa wo Hirogete. I don't know about the other one. Pull top. I like that laugh, the delivery. It was like a laugh, a grunt, and also he was like, this is exciting all at once. What's wrong? What's wrong? We're all gonna die! I would say that the girl on the radio should be enough, but at the same time, I've been in stores my whole life where the fire alarm has gone off and not a single person has filed out of the store. So I get it. Oh, it's okay, false alarm, whatever. Yosh. It's a pirate broadcast. Dude, the stakes would be dramatically larger. Well, I guess it can't be any larger than an entire town being wiped out. But if he was like Santa Ana in Mexico, like declaring the transmission pirates to death. Poor girl. I know he feels like he has a political obligation not to let people freak out, but at the same time, you might as well just be safe than sorry, right? Causing a ruckus. What's it look like? Oh, my dad. Damn it! I can't save my life anymore. I'd just say screw it. I'm gonna head to the school myself. Look, this shot. Well, not this shot. This shot is so nice, they use it twice. See, that was probably a Who Are You, not Kimi no Noma. Dare. I've played visual novels where I've corrected translations. Or made them more appropriate, rather. Contextually. Here's everyone's other favorite scene. This is also the kind of shit that I would pull in real life. Why be practical when you could be a romantic? See, this is also why when after he wrote this, he put the pen in her hand and closed it so that she wouldn't see it immediately. This is also a fantastic setup for Shinkai's usual type of romance. Oh, well, I'll wait. I told you it was so nice to use it twice. For those of you who don't know, Makoto Shinkai, the director of this film, he's infatuated, I guess, with the. It's like an old-fashioned sense of love in Japanese culture, and it's like it's a form of unrequited love, and that's why his previous films before this one have all generally been like bittersweet, I guess. Like 5 centimeters per second. It ends with the couple not getting together, and a lot of his films are like that to some degree. So Mitsuha surviving this and having to go her whole life knowing that someone out there loves her and never thinking to herself that no one's ever going to, or she's not ever going to find that person. That's the kind of love that Shinkai is like adores, apparently. So that whole thing sets that up. And then the whole epilogue coming up sort of sets that up as well. Although I guess it's not so much an epilogue. If anything, this is probably the third act. Right now is probably the end of the second act. If we want to get technical and try to fit this into a traditional 3-act structure. I don't think it does fit into that way, but they're kind of at their lowest point now, right? Like from when they meet each other up on there, and then he writes the name from that point all the way to the destruction of the city. Okay, now we're in the future, by the way. So keep that in mind, because Shinkai subjects his audience's expectations here, probably because he realized that a lot of people didn't much care for his brand of romance. Or I guess just love, not necessarily romance. His brand of love. Because it's very bittersweet. It leaves a lot of people wanting. So this whole epilogue section here is very much that idea of, oh, well, there's someone out there I know and I love and I want their name, but I will never have that name. He very much toys with the audience because he knows that that's what they expect. What's wrong with my suit? You might could work on your pitch. Oh, I hate this shot because it makes her look like she's pregnant. See? You see her bag? It makes her look like she's pregnant. I remember every time I see that shot. Here's date 2. There's Prudential. An unprecedented natural disaster. I like the idea of like conspiracy articles being written about that. How did he know? Did he make the comet crash land into the city? That's what you think. is she married? And he's not. Okay, here's the scene right here where Shinkai, I'm sure as he was writing it, was like, oh. Oh, well, not quite. After this. Starbucks. I feel bad for my future wife, because I'll have a slight amount of input on the wedding. If she wants 100% control about it, I'll be like, oh, there's a couple things. Here's the shot. I guess it's a scene. Callback to when they passed one another on the rim of the crater. I'm sure everyone watching this who's familiar with Shinkai's work at first was like, what in the actual hell? It's like the Digimon the movie. It can't end like this! I'm sure everyone thought it ends like right here. Cut to black. And it was like, oh! Hope! I mean, even the ending of this is bittersweet, but at least it's more than what we usually get with a Shinkai film. This part feels like an afterthought. Maybe Shinkai, maybe his production company was like, okay, you've got to add a wonderful ending. And hey, he added one, and look, this becomes his most successful film and makes him like an icon in Japanese anime film culture. And ends up in a Charlie Kaufman novel, of all places. I'm legitimately curious now. I wonder if this was... Oh, that is the girl. Those are probably people from Itomori, and I just haven't noticed them all. Yotsuba. I'm legitimately curious whether or not this was a Shinkai decision, or if the production company told him he needed to add this. He was probably like, oh, okay, well, we get another Radwimp song, so why not? See, I don't even know how Weathering with You ends. Shinkai's Unrequited Love is a little bit less marketable than what we get with Your Name. Yeah, imagine this moment. It's like deja vu, but not. See, I don't understand this either. Why just keep walking? You both know that you saw one another and, like, had a fit, almost. Why not just talk there? And pretend? Why pretend? I think it's another tease. See, they got it right in the translation that time. And that's your name. Makoto Shinkai. I do like this song too. This isn't Sparkle. This is... I can't remember. It's on my iPod. Wow, talk about old technology. Talking about iPods. Stretch. Oh. What is it translating? This subtrack is translating random people's voice actors. Why? Now it's just making random names to translate. I wonder why that is. This is a weird subtitle track. Rad Wimps! They did the soundtrack for Weathering with You as well. So yeah, I had an absolute blast. I learned a couple of things and made some inferences that I had never made before. So I would say this has been a very productive viewing. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Obviously, you've seen your name already if you're watching this, and I hope this was as fun as the first viewing, and maybe we all figured stuff out on this viewing. I love repeat viewings of movies that I love. I've seen Dune 3 times in theaters. So yeah, I don't know if that's what I'll watch next. But yeah, I've got a giant-ass backlog of stuff to watch, so I will definitely be hopefully watching more movies, because this is a very easy way for me to like make it a point to sit down and like watch some. Otherwise I get bogged down on like doing other stuff. But yeah, let's see, while I'm here, let's take a look. Let's see. A Silent Voice. Ooh, we could watch that next. As far as anime films go, I don't know what I'm going to watch in the grand scheme of things next, but the next anime film, A Silent Voice, perhaps? That'd be a different director. The Legend of Hei, that's from China, actually. So I don't know if that counts as anime. I know anime is short for animation, but nowadays, in the colloquial sense, it generally means stuff from Japan specifically. Like Code Lyoko's not anime, because that's from... You know what? Cory in the House is anime, so... Yes, that is sarcasm. I also have a lot of Japanese films. Surprisingly, a lot of Italian films have cropped up on my to-watch list. So I have a lot of Italian stuff to watch. So we'll get to watch some stuff. It's a good bridge. It's been a while since I've heard the bridge to this song. It's pretty great, actually. I also have some Western animation. Long Way North, The Little Prince. I've got some stuff to watch. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff to watch. I have it in a Western animation folder. I'll stop. I love a verse where they repeat a verse, but at a higher pitch or octave. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.